While speaking at Paul Bogle's career, the Prime Minister also promised that it is in intention to see that both nurses, teachers, and auxiliary staff, those who work, to get better wages is intention. So that is a plan set out because he also was a minister of education and a teacher also. So teacher really deserve more pay.
Because of any bad management, The reality may strike because of external factors. And when you spend off the money and you don't have what is called the buffers, the reserves that you put aside for the difficult times, then the people feel it. So think of it, how have we been able to increase the wage bill massively and still bring down the debt? Good government. Good government. A politician who I invited to speak at my conference from one of our sister islands, I'll never forget it. He said that you have to be careful. You have to be careful that what you have worked so hard, you all have sacrificed so hard to get to this point where our economy is doing well, that all it takes is one careless person to come and kick over the bucket. One careless person. But what you have built up using teaspoon to build up your savings, one careless man come with a shovel and take it away and waste it. So I said to all Jamaicans, we are in a good place. Don't let election promises disturb that. You will pay for it after elections. But let me go further to say that our teachers and nurses and all our public sector workers, it is my intention, not just my wish, to see that you can be guaranteed increases in your pay without compromising the economy. That every government, including my government, must negotiate with respect. We must negotiate transparently and with respect. We must engage our partners, the unions, with respect. And so while I hear the issue regarding the offer, I also hear the issue regarding timely response and respectful negotiations. And I make my commitment to you here tonight that we will ensure that you have timely and respectful negotiations and that there is a credible and reasonable offer that will not damage you in the future. I ask all Jamaicans, who every sector is now looking for more. What a difference. 10 years ago, at this time the government was telling you can't get any wage increase. And everybody had to accept it. What a difference. Let us not kick over the bucket or shovel out our savings. Let us be cautious, let us be careful, let us be smart as a people about where we are and what we have accomplished. Together, we will have a partnership for prosperity. Every Jamaican will be able to fulfill and realize their dreams and aspirations. If every public sector worker looks on, and we were able to do it, going through the most comprehensive and the largest ever increase in public sector wages. It comes up to about $6 billion over about 4 years. The largest increase that public sector workers have ever gotten. That's the global picture. Now, I am the first to admit that it was not perfect, that there are still anomalies that must be resolved. And our process of resolving anomalies is through a well-established system of negotiation. Currently, the government is going through a process of negotiation. And I just want to say here that I, Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, I respect every public sector worker, and I want to see you get the best pay that you can get. I want you to listen to me good. I want you to listen to me very carefully. My mother worked in the civil service for over 30 odd years. She worked in the Ministry of Labor and Social Security dealing with NIS. And even though she's so committed that people still going to her to ask her to help with their NIS issues because she became so good at it. But she lived and took care of me and my sister on a public sector worker salary, which was very small. At the time of my graduation, I asked her to buy me a Clark's shoes. And she said to me, Andrew, I don't have the money to do that. Wear the shoes that you wear throughout the year, go to your graduation, you will be in a gown, nobody will see it. So you understand why they always have my Clark's. Understand who you're dealing with. You have to understand my life experience. People say, why you don't tell your story? I don't wear, in other words, where I come from and my experiences should not entitle me to leadership of the country. What should entitle me to leadership of the country is my performance. In today's world, where people are trying to say to you, don't judge me on my performance, judge me on my promise and rhetoric and gimmicks, then I probably have to put who I am and why I make certain decisions. Now, I could play the game of the opposition and say to all the teachers and the public sector workers, yeah man, I'm going to give you the world, as previous politicians have done, and then turn around and stick you with a wage freeze. This country made a huge sacrifice 10 years ago to break from fiscal recklessness, and it hurts my heart to see the PNP try to reintroduce fiscal recklessness through its various promises which do not make any sense. All it is going to do is make you feel good and jump up, and then when the reality strikes, to say, because everybody has their phone up recording, So he came and he greeted me, shook my hands, had his phone up, and he said, Prime Minister, I'm a teacher. And you know, when I hear teacher, you know, my eyes light up because I was a teacher. I was Minister of Education. I know the value of teachers, I know the value of education. And he said, Prime Minister, you have to do something about the wage offer. And he had his phone up. And I know he was hoping to catch me in an unguarded moment. But you know my mouth don't slip. You know that you will never get me at the mic and then I go. My brain is always engaged. Sometimes people look at me and they say, where are you, Prime Minister? I'm deep in thought. Because, yes, people like gimmicks and they like the smile, but my job on your behalf is to think on things deeply. The first solution, the most popular solution, the thing that seems like common sense, is not always the best solution. What you will get from me, even in an election, is the best solution. The challenge that we have faced as a country, why our debt went out of control. Yes, poor management. Yes, foreign exchange devaluation. Yes, external things over which we have no control. But a large part of it is that governments could not reason with their population to explain the decisions that they have to make. And therefore they make decisions on the basis that they are trying to please the voting population, but end up harming them. I'm going to make a point to you today, and I'm not just making it here to the crowd, I'm making it to the Jamaican people. And I made sure to look it up. Don't want to make any errors. But Jamaica has had wage freezes. You know what a wage freeze is? A wage freeze is when the government of the day decides that it is not able to make any increases to public sector wages. And it explains that to the unions and say we can't do it. And they try to get the unions to agree. We have had wage freezes in 1976, in 1977, in 1978, in 2004, 2005, 2006, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 13, 14, and 15. Mostly under the PNP. And you know when the wage freezes have occurred? The wage freezes have occurred largely after the government has given a wage increase. I want all Jamaicans to just go and research it and think on it carefully. Now, the challenge of any government is how to increase the wage bill without at the same time increase borrowing or create a fiscal deficit, a gap between what you earn and what you have to spend. The only government so far that has been able to crack that code is the Jamaican Labour Party